Mm-mm.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
man.
Good morning. We're
Yes,
back.
sir.
We're back. December 29th. It's almost that new year, almost into the new year,
Ooh,
2023. I'm
almost.
I'm one half of the pod, AB, man. I got my co-host down at the Thunderdome, D Butt.
Yes, sir. What's good?
Man, chilling, man, on this good Thursday morning. Excited to be back on the show.
Absolutely, man. Last one of the year, man. Last one of 2022. Before New Year, new me and shit. 2023 coming in. I'm ready for it.
Nah,
2022 was a great ride. I feel like for us, for a lot of people. Ups, downs as always, but ready for new challenges ahead.
facts, man. I'm right there with you. And obviously some good talking points today that we can touch on. Um, obviously, Derek Carr news being benched. Um,
Hmm.
Hall of Famer, former NFL standout Ed Reed taking the head coaching job at Bethune Cookman.
Yes, sir.
Um, we got some good games this weekend. A lot of playoff implications, man. We're gonna talk about some important matchups.
Week
Um,
17 already.
Facts, man. Facts. Carson Wentz, man, being the name starter for the Washington Commanders, man. Like, what does that look like? We kind of touched on it briefly, but touch on that a little bit more, man. So some exciting stuff.
I feel like it's another more quarter. Oh, Tua. Tua.
Sure.
Obviously
Yeah.
got to talk about Tua. You know what Dolphins still in the playoff hunt. Teddy Bridgewater has been named the starter, but we'll definitely get into that situation. I know we both had opinions on him and throughout this year and what he's dealt with his health issues. So we definitely gonna dive into that.
Facts,
Um,
facts.
lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, man. Even in the comments, somebody brought up a good question as far as Derwin James and that, that hit. Him being injected, man. So obviously we can touch on that, both being
Mhm.
defenders. But y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all tap in with us. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We're gonna
Yes,
catch y'all
sir.
on the other side.
Yeah, yep.
Yes, sir. Man, we're gonna jump right into it, man. Big news right here coming out of Las Vegas. The Raiders' decision to bench Derek Carr.
Mm.
Derek Carr is going to step away from the team to avoid distraction for the final two games, man. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of directions, man. We can come at this story, right?
Yeah.
First, I just want to get your opinion on this. Do you think it's a good decision, a smart decision by the organization to bench Derek Carr, the way he's been playing lately, as of late? And how do you feel about them giving him the okay, or if he asks for it, or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, for him to step away from the team?
Yeah. And Derek Carr, the things that he's dealt with, obviously as a leader in that organization in the cities, moving from city to city, off the field issues, locker room, all that stuff. Hats off to him. 10 out of 10 as far as leadership and trying to steer the ship in rocky waters. His play has been up and down. He's been one of those quarterbacks for a lot of his career that people would look at it and say, all right, are you better than Derek Carr? Or are you worse than Derek Carr? Like he's kind of been that barometer almost, kind of like Kirk Cousins almost. And no playoff success. I think last year was that his first playoff appearance, and
I
then
think.
lost to the Bengals in a wild card, I believe. So saw a stat yesterday: 9 seasons, and he has the second most all time losses by a starting quarterback in 9 seasons after Archie Manning. So Didn't play well. Definitely didn't play well against the Steelers. And based on how his contract was set up, that the team gave him that extension this offseason, it was basically set up to almost be like a prove it deal still, to where they
Yeah.
still get out of it pretty much financially after this year. And that's what they're doing from their part. Like, all right, we want to protect ourselves these last two games. We're obviously going to move on from Derek. So we don't want him to get injured so that we can't cut him and move on. So we bench him. We put Stidham in there. I get all that. Now just saying, all right, leave, or him saying I'm going to leave and then they granting that, not really a fan of that. People get benched. Think that happens every day in this league. Quarterbacks, other positions, and then now all his teammates got to kind of face the music and answer those questions. And I think Derek Carr has dealt with 100 times worse than this shit, so he can definitely talk about it and then move on. I think he'll still be starting quarterback. So not a fan of that part of it. And I get moving on from Derek Carr from the business side of it. I guess obviously personally, not a fan of it, but it is what it is with this business. You already know it's a cold game, man. When they're ready to move on, new head coach going forward. So that's my thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on it?
Nah, that's it, bro. Like you said, it's a cold game. Coming in, when you start playing ball, man, like you don't really think about this side, but
Nope.
you hit it on the head. Like, hey, look, we already had those internal talks that we gonna look for another quarterback. So to your point, we can't afford you getting injured. You know what I mean? So that's the unfortunate part of this game is the business aspect. But I get it. I get it 1,000%. And then you look at it from the standpoint where Devontae Adams, one of the top receivers in the game,
Yeah.
how just that whole situation, like being called in office, or if they called him in the office and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. I know you signed a long-term deal, got that bag. And one of the main reasons, if the only reason why you are here in Las Vegas, is because of your relationship with Derek Carr. So
Yeah.
trying to figure out like what happens there, as far as Devontae Adams' relationship with Coach McDaniels, with the organization. Obviously, you signed on the dotted line. You got to be a pro. You got to do X, Y, and Z. But, human nature, he going to feel some type of way. And again, like you said, man, as far as stepping away, man, you got 2 games, man. That's part of the business, man. Chill in the locker room, support your guys. He's been doing a great job of, doing that with all the stuff that's been going on with the Raiders, with John Gruden and Ruggs and just a whole lot of things going on. Like you said, he's been he's been a pro. He's been a leader in that building. I just finished that up. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know who decision that was, if it was the organization, if it was his, they agreed upon on it, but a perfect situation of understanding that the NFL is a big business.
Yeah. And it's a cutthroat business. People say it all the time, and this is just another example of that. And a lot of times, quarterbacks are treated, I guess, better than other positions. And then you get in a time like this where it's like, hey, we're going to do what's best for us money wise. And now Josh McDaniel, he's, I would think, safe at least for another year to say, all right, let me go out and draft the quarterback or trade for one, because we've seen the movement that has been on this quarterback, and it looked like it's going to be a lot more, well, not a lot more, but a lot this offseason as well. Even in this division, AFC West, got the Broncos. Obviously, they paid the contract with Russ that they can't get out of like this one, but I'm sure they'd be in the same boat if they could.
Right.
The coach instead, so he had to take that L. And now in this situation with the Raiders, it's obviously on the quarterback. But high expectations once they bring Devontae Adams over, Chan Jones, very high expectations. And they obviously fell flat on their face. So you knew changes were coming. Derek Carr's kind of been in this even when John Gruden took the job, it was like, is Carr, is Gruden gonna tie his ship to Carr long term? And now you had the same question with McDaniel. So now the rumor's gonna start. Is Brady gonna go to Vegas? I don't necessarily think so, but those definitely gonna be a lot of rumblings. But Derek Carr, man, where you think he goes from here? You think
I was just about to
next
ask
year
you
in the
that,
league?
right? I was just about to ask you that. So I seen somebody make up a tweet with Derek Carr, and
No,
a made up tweet,
no,
a
no,
made up tweet saying, "Hey, look, I like this indie market, man." You know what I'm saying?
no,
Hey, so
hell no. Tracy
hey, D
Morgan kid.
Butt.
No. No.
Hey, like, what else you gonna do? You gonna go get you a young boy? You gonna draft?
Yeah, we gonna be in a position. We gonna be in a
Yeah,
position.
we are.
At the top, I would. We got look. Respecting Nick Foles. Played in this league a long time. It's hard to play in this league. Got a statue. Ain't too many motherfuckers walking around. We talked about the Franco Harris situation, RP Franco. Ain't a lot of people walking around in their prime with a statue outside of a stadium. So
Facts.
salute to Nick Foles.
Facts.
But we got Nick Foles starting right now. And so that lets me know what direction we going right now into the offseason. We're trying to improve our draft position and get one of these quarterbacks. Will these guys be good? Who knows? This is the current order right now as it stands going into week 17, which kicks off tonight, Thursday Night Football. We got Houston with the number 1 pick, Chicago Bears number 2 pick, the Denver Broncos at 3, Cardinals at 4, and then the Colts at 5. So, top 5 pick, you'd assume that who got our last 2 games?
Shit, we got the Giants. We got the Giants, and then
we got Giants this week. Yep.
Yeah, we got Giants this week. And I'm trying to think about who our last one.
Let's 3, 4, 5 pick one of them picks. I think we go after one of these. Then we go after a quarterback, and it's something that Chris
got
Ballard
the Texans. Then Texans the last game.
Oh shit! I fucking around winning that one. but it is something that Chris Ballard, assuming he's still going to be, here in drafting for us. He hasn't done this yet. He hasn't gone after a high pick at the quarterback position. It's been a carousel. So, I would take a shot at a young guy if I'm the coach. I wouldn't go after Derek Carr. I feel like it would just be, just continuing that cycle that we've been on. And plus, we still owe Matt a bunch of money, right?
Man, Matt ain't tripping. Matt ain't tripping. We talk about that mailbox money. Shit, he getting it.
Hey, and a list came out with the top 10 highest paid earners ever, and Matt Ryan was on that list. So shout out to Matt.
All quarterbacks, obviously.
Yeah, all quarterbacks. Then I saw the defensive list, all D linemen. But to your point about Derek Carr, real quick too, when Matt Ryan was benched, I know it wasn't the end of the season, but he did face that music, answer the question. He benched for Sam Elliott, now bench for Nick Foles. So, I think Derek Carr could have hung around. But
facts. So we don't like him in Indy. You pose that question where we, let's think about some other suitable teams, right? I seen somebody in the chat say Atlanta.
They just drafted a young boy.
Yeah, so no Houston. Houston's going to draft.
Miami possibly.
Yeah, Miami. No, possibly. Definitely Miami.
We're
gonna talk about that.
It's a lot of who else? Shit, Houston.
But I feel like Houston's going to draft though. I feel like they're going to draft the quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't think this quarterback draft is too great. A lot of people aren't really sold on CJ Stroud. I'm gonna get a closer look at him this weekend and be covering that Georgia Ohio State game. So I'm gonna see him against a Georgia, defense that I'm sure has a lot of future pros on it. But I don't know who else would be in the top of the draft. But who else? Derek Carr.
I mean, you got the Jets. You know what I mean? But I feel like they might be. I mean, you got Mike White over there.
We'll see, man. He gonna be somewhere though.
Yeah, he definitely will be. He'll get another shot.
For sure.
So we definitely gonna see on that, man. So it'll be interesting. And staying with quarterbacks, with one of your teams, Tua, confirmed that he suffered another concussion last game.
Yep.
So this is concussion number 3 that's been documented this season. He missed some games.
Documented. It's only 2 that's been documented.
Facts.
They still standing. They still standing on that.
Fact. My fault.
They still standing on that.
But yeah, man, like I had a stance on this earlier, man. When he had the he had the back injury the first game,
The
and
concussion.
yeah, he had a concussion
Yeah.
clearly, but came back in the game. Then I think it was that next was the next game against Cincinnati.
Yep.
The
Thursday night
following
football
game,
too.
he
Thursday,
su-
yeah. Short
yeah,
week.
he suffered another one. And right then and there, I'm like, all right, man, it's 2 concussions in a short period of time. I'm not a expert, but I know like you need this young man needs to take some time off for sure, for sure. Him suffering that third concussion, but
Yeah.
like I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like, man, he really has to sit down and think about his future and his livelihood. I know him. I know it's tough. He's a young guy, young man, but suffering 3 concussions, man, like that's scary. And obviously we talk about it all the time. The health of the players in the league, like what you see happening in this situation. And what would be your suggestion? You know what I mean? He's sitting
Ooh.
there listening to D-Buck right now, like. Obviously, he's a grown man. He's gonna make his own
Yeah.
decisions. But what would be your suggestion?
I would shut it down for the year. I would shut it down for the year, and that's including if Teddy go out and win one of these 2 games or both of these games, and then make a playoff berth. And that'll be, I'm sure, a lot tougher to sit that out, especially after everything that Tua has been through. Injury wise, coaching changes, coaching staff not necessarily believing in them. All the rumors about all these other quarterbacks coming in, and you finally, put together a good season, and then you start to get these head injuries. And I feel like they've all kind of come off a similar type of hit, which is, like the back of his head hitting the helmet. And watching too, obviously I watch him a lot. He has a lot of awkward hits and falls in the pocket for whatever reason. I don't know what that is, but obviously it's a very violent physical sport. And it's tough, man. We competitors, man. We are ultimate competitors, and we're wired a certain way. And that's why you get to this level. And so it's easier said than done to just shut it
Yeah,
down and watch, especially when you business wise shit. He trying to hit that second deal. He trying to get 40 plus a year. So that's on the table as well. So it's definitely tough. It's a lot, I guess, easier for me to say, but I would for sure shut it down for this season. Make sure you're fully on point. I'm not necessarily of the thought of just calling it a career at this point, which I've been hearing, and understandably so. Maybe if he played linebacker or lineman or whatever, maybe I'd be thinking that. But I think you shut it down this year. You reevaluate everything, and then get back to the drawing board this offseason. And I would do that if I was his head coach too. I would shut him down for his best interest. And shout out to Mike McDaniel too. At this point, not sure what took place earlier in the season, but he said the conversation with Tua, he could tell he wasn't quite there. Shit wasn't really flowing. He told him, "Hey, go see the doctors," and then the doctors, put him in the protocol. So it's tough though, even for a coach,
yeah,
man. You trying to first year, you trying to get to the playoffs. Everybody in the locker room know you looking at number one. That's your guy. So it's tough, but I would shut him down for his best interest, and I'm pretty sure that's where you with it too. You at with it too, because you've been there since probably
yeah,
week 8.
yeah, man. Shut it down, my guy. And then even long term, I'm thinking like you really, really, really have to consider that. I understand what you're saying as far as the position that he plays, not, you know, he. Well, I can't even say that. Like the position that he plays, the way they calling it, full quarterbacks. But that brain, man, that's something you can't play with. That's something you
You want.
cannot play with. And like you said, like 3. I mean, I still say that's a short period of time. 3
Hell yeah.
concussions and
What,
in a
10,
matter of
10
months.
weeks, 12 weeks,
Yeah,
3 months.
man, like
Yeah, that's
that's tough. So to your point, shut it down this year, man. Go see who you need to see, get some tests done, and make a conscious decision as far as
yeah.
what next year, what the future looks like. And to your point, for the organization as a coach, it's tough because like you sitting here in a position where like right now you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now
In
you in the
front of
playoffs, and early this season when them backups come in, it looks totally different.
yeah.
It looks totally different, and it's one of them things. This week the Patriots had the Dolphins. Divisional game. Patriots, they still can squeak. They can still get in, and if the
Yep.
Dolphins don't win,
They
it's gonna
could,
be
it could
ugly
get
down
ugly. Yeah. So you start needing that help and all that stuff, and this is tough because this is a lot of people look at hey it's just a game, it's this and that, but this is livelihood. It's on the line. This is what you've been working for all season to get to. So it's tough, man. But I hope everyone involved makes the right decision. And obviously nobody can uh prioritize or care about your health more than you. You know what I
there.
mean? So it's something that Tua's got to really look himself hard in the mirror and say, all right, am I gonna risk it? Because it's a risk that we all take. But when you start, and I know I had a former teammate, Luke Kuechly, in West, who had a lot of getting their bell rung a lot. I know Austin Collie,
Austin Collie.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was he was
Ben Utech, tied
yeah.
in for the Colts.
So
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, man. Prayers for Tua though, man. Get healthy. You know.
So speaking of these head injuries, Monday Night Football, Chargers, Colts. That was Nick Foles' first start. My same game parlay hit. But
Ooh, hold
speaking
on,
of
hold on,
being
hold on, hold
nice
on.
little okay,
We ain't gonna slide. We ain't gonna, hey, hold on. Same game parlay. Shout out to FanDuel Sportsbook, official
yes,
sponsor of the Man and
sir.
Thank you, appreciate them.
Yep.
But
So if you use that first free bet, that no sweat bet with the promo code M2M Live, and you bet $100 on this same game parlay for Monday, you would have brought back 710 plus 710 once I put it in. Pause. I took the Chargers with an alternate spread,
okay,
super safe with the spread. Chargers were favored by 3.5, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna give me 3.5 points because y'all been I ain't never comfortable with these. Keenan Allen, 70 plus yards. He went for 104. Mike Williams, 50 plus yards. He went for 76. And then in Austin Eckler, anytime touchdown. I think he's up to 15 or 16 on the season. So that hit, man. Put in a 250. And
hey,
yeah. I mean,
that's a good way to go out right there, D Buck.
yeah. So I obviously I had some conviction with it. I put that's a decent unit on there, pause. And it hit, and that's now we got this momentum going into these offs, going into these last couple of weeks. But once again, speaking of hits, the Derwin James hit, he got penalized. He got knocked out. Probably gonna get fined. He got ejected from the game. What was your thoughts on the hit and all the repercussions that came after it?
Man, my first thought, I'm like, oh, good ass hit. hey, that's what I thought about it. Good
And we
hit,
we
but
don't see him often either.
you know what I'm saying? Like that, and honestly, that was my first thought. Ooh, good hit. You know what I'm saying? But the way the game is being played now, the way the game is being called, I still don't agree with ejections.
Okay.
Unless it's a blatantly just dirty foul play. In my honest opinion, I thought that was a football play, a vicious hit,
Mm-hmm.
a vicious hit.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. You know what I mean? I don't agree with the ejection on that part.
I had a
I feel
tweet.
as I feel as though, yeah, you could have. You can always go look at a tackle and be like, okay, you could have done this differently. You could have
It's
done this
true.
differently. I'm with that. Yeah, the way his head was down. Yeah, you need to protect yourself, and obviously you want to protect the other player. But I don't agree with the ejection. I felt it was a vicious hit. I definitely would have agreed. Okay, if you call personal foul, I'm with that. But I don't like the ejection part, man. We know as players, as referees, as coaches, front office, whatever, this is a vicious game.
Yeah.
This is a vicious game, and those hits are going to happen. So every time a vicious hit happens, we're going to eject the player. Nah, I don't agree with the ejection part. But to the point, I understand what a league is trying to crack down on how the game is played, how
Mm-hmm.
you tackle. I understand that part, but
Yeah.
that was my opinion.
I wouldn't have been, screaming for an eject. Hey, kick him out of the game. That's this, that's that. But once the ejection happened, once I saw the hit, I didn't have a problem with it. Surprisingly, even to myself, you know, and I sent the tweet out. I said, "Damn, I'm surprised I'm saying this because first and foremost, just like you see the hit, and it's like, oh shit, that's what we grew up saying. That was football." But and it's so crazy that we all kind of had that reaction with football, and that lets you know how much the game has changed. And I think trending in the right direction. And just coming off of that tour conversation, obviously Derwin does play a much more violent position, in my opinion. And those hits, I think the way he hit, the way you when you lead with that crown of the head, you know, we've seen it have, you know, cause severe injuries to not
Yeah.
only the player you're hitting, but to yourself. You know, you got to protect yourself. We see the ejections in college, and really not a fan of it, but I understand it. I understand if you're having like a zero tolerance almost policy with the dropping of the crown of the head, because that is, and you know, we both have friends, former teammates, whatever that are dealing with those things now in their post career.
Yeah.
So getting ejected, losing money, those are the type of things that all of us look at and say, all right, you know, it when you in that split second, you may not be thinking about it then, but going into that game practice week, watching film, it just gets into your psyche like, all right, I can't do that. Like I gotta find some way, somehow get that shoulder and get my head up. So I that's why I was a proponent and I did support, I guess, the ejection of the penalty, the you know, I'm never a fan of finding somebody unless you now you find Mac Jones as that's something where you just going intentionally trying to hurt somebody. But full speed play, I'll be more upset with a fine than a suspension and then an ejection in that situation. But you know, it is football, it is a violent game, and shit happens
Shit.
fast.
It does.
And
we
Nick
got
Foles, I'm throwing them hospital balls, man.
yeah, man. We got the hit right here.
Ooh. See right there, man. When you drop that helmet, man, like whatever repercussions they come with from that, right? Because that is such a bad position to be in. That's a scary.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a player hit, anytime I see that shit, man, that my damn heart skip a beat, man.
Nah,
I've
sure,
seen people
because
hit that ground, not get up, like
that's a vulnerable situation, a vulnerable position as
yeah,
a tackler. Like you never want to lead like that. You always want to lead face up, chest up.
yeah,
But again, man, it's a I understand it both ways. I'm just not a
yeah,
fan of the ejection. Like you said,
yeah.
penalty. You send them that FedEx, put that FedEx on the you hit them pockets. You know, as a player, you see that FedEx shit, your heart drop. Like, damn, how much they give me for today? And then that's the way you start your week off. That's on a Monday too. So your Monday they hit
I
your
gotta
pocket.
call James Thrash.
You know what I mean? Let me see if they can knock this down a little bit. But fortunately, nobody was seriously injured.
Both concussed. I think both guys was concussed.
Yeah, that could have been way worse.
It definitely.
That's what I'm saying. So okay, the concussions we just talked about two, and the concussions. The concussions are that's a serious injury, but it could have been way worse. Looking
definitely.
At that video,
with that impact for sure, could have had a much. One of them guys could have been getting carted off shit. Both of them, but both of them got up, walked off. So definitely could have been worse. And it's so crazy that we, myself included, are still trying to reprogram ourselves to see concussions as like a serious injury. Because like coming up, it's crazy, man. It's fucking nuts. Now somebody that don't play the game maybe ain't really been around it like that. Maybe not, but for us, you know, it was like, man, you got your bell rung back in the next series. Maybe you take a series
shake
off,
that drum off, like
get right. Like if Derwin, if he would have tried to go back in that game, he would probably went back in that game 12 years ago, 10 years ago for sure. But it's a different game now. It's a safer game for good reason. For obviously, you know, the young guys that are playing now for the next generation and going forward. So continue to change the game, and you know, it is a violent game, though. Always will be. Hopefully.
Yeah, man. Before we get to this Thursday night preview, we got some very, very important matchups this weekend with playoff implications, right? First one we can touch on the Panthers at the Bucks. divisional matchup. Coach Steve Wilkes, man, interim head coach, man, just stepped in, got this Carolina team playing well. Bucks led by, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Very, very roller coaster year this year. Panthers 6-9, Bucks 7-8, man. Panthers win this game, they'll be leading the division.
It's crazy. For some reason, it feels like the Panthers got more wins than 6 wins.
Yeah.
Maybe it's they've had some close losses, but I feel like they've played better than that. It's crazy as that sounds. That's only 15 games. So they got tonight and then 2 more weeks. Are they 7-9? I don't know. But anyway, after what the Panthers did on the ground last week, man, if they could get that ground game going in this one, I might mess around and go with Steve Wilkes and the Panthers, man, because I feel like he got that locker room, he got that team.
Hey, it's all about momentum, my guy. You know that it's about confidence, and I know if I was to play in that locker room, I'd be excited right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just all the stuff that has happened within that organization, firing the coach.
Everybody counted him out for
real.
Coordinators.
For real. You bring Baker over, that didn't work. He's sent off. Sam Darnold gets another shot. The team is they're playing well. So yeah, man, if I was in that locker room, I'd be excited. And then obviously playing for Coach Wilkes, I played for him 1 year in Arizona. I just know what type of guy he is, what type of coach he is. You can do any and everything for him.
Nah.
Hey, I already know. I know who I'm going with in this game.
Where you going?
I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, now the Bucks, for the people that can't see, Bucks are favored by 3 at home, 7-8. I'm not positive, but I think if they win this game, they lock up the division, which will mean a home playoff game for the Bucks. Panthers will have to win out and probably get some help to win. But so we both sound like we're going with the Panthers, huh? Wait for my pick for Saturday. I ain't gonna copy AB homework just yet.
I'm going Carolina here.
Just yet. They did put up over 500 yards last week of total offense, which is
that run
crazy.
Run game was crazy.
Man, Foreman. What's the other back?
Hubbard.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard. I think it was the third back they got in there too, toting that bit. So DJ Moore, big play. Sam Darnold, look at decent, winning some games late, man. So I think most importantly from this team, you talked about Steve Wilkes. I've been around Steve Wilkes. It's the second time around getting at least an opportunity. Everybody in the football world knows he got a raw deal that first time around Arizona. I think he's earned his job. You're going to have to go through the process out there in Carolina postseason, but I think Steve Wilkes, based on that locker room, seeing it, he has earned his job full time.
Especially they make the playoffs.
Yeah, the fact that they even in the conversation right now.
Fuck the process. But I get it. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I think they
they
have to, but
you got to. Yeah.
Come on, this is the guy. Man.
Another game. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Washington Commanders. This is really a pick 'em. And coming in some more news at the quarterback position, Carson Wentz is now the starter. And we touched on this.
The hero.
We touched on this. How would you feel if you was in that locker room where Heineke has been playing decent and he has you in the conversation?
I think he's 5-3-1 as a starter.
Yeah, he has you in the conversation of making the playoffs. And now, he had a game against the San Francisco 49ers where a lot of quarterbacks have to look good against them.
Yeah.
And now you got Carson Wentz back in the starting role.
He back. Hey, another opportunity for Wentz to be a hero right now. Honestly, you go 7-7-1 and you win these last 2 games. Get your team in the playoffs. People are gonna be looking at you differently. I think, at least in that locker room. Heineke, for whatever reason, those guys been playing for him. He's been making plays. 5-3-1, I believe, during his tenure as a starting quarterback. But they said it coming into the season, hey, you paying one guy $30, you paying another guy a few million. you're gonna go with the other guy if things are even close. That's just the business of ball. So that's where they at right now, man. We'll see. I don't think they're gonna shake anything in the offs. They got Chase Young back last week. He played well. Defensively, I think they definitely held down their end of things this year. So if the offensively they got the weapons, if Carson can come in there, he's fresh. He's had a new perspective. And we know Carson at any point can have one of those great games. We also know he could be on the other end of the spectrum too. And we'd be looking at Heineke at the end of this game, possibly as well. So
hey, so yeah, that's what I'm about to
entertainment.
ask you. That's what I'm about to ask you, right? So Carson Wentz coming, and I'm an advocate of putting good juju out there. But hey, hypothetically speaking, man, Carson Wentz go out there, he's stinking that shit up first half. Do you make a switch?
Oh,
And you in the game, it's close. Carson Wentz thinking it up. Do you go back and make a switch?
Close game.
It's not looking good on the offense.
At home.
Defense is playing well. They got you in the game. But something just ain't right over there. On that other side of the ball.
Fuck it. Anything. Yeah, damn right. Hey, Heineke, stay ready. They don't went back to Wentz. They threw Wentz in there late last game. They've been back and forth, some injury. Then you stuck with them. Fuck it. Everybody be ready. All right. Whatever we got to do to win this game, coach coming and say, hey, whatever I got to do, whatever we got to put out there. Best 11 gonna be out there to win this game for these 60 minutes. So, damn right, it's a possibility. Ain't no just riding with him because he ain't earned that, in my opinion. So, shit.
Man, be looking at coach like, man, y'all some fools, man. Like, y'all know what's going on, man. Like, what y'all doing?
Hey, Taylor, start warming up.
Say what? What you say, coach?
Carson on that bullshit again. Start warming up.
Oh, man.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. Another game this weekend, man. The Vikings 12-3.
Huge game
For the Vikings at the Packers. Packers 7-8. Oddly, they're 3-point favorites right now for the people who can't see. Vikings, huge game for them. They trying to win out so they can potentially get the number 1 seed, depending on what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Packers, they need to win out to have a chance to get to the playoffs. So definitely implications for both teams for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Packers 3-point favorites. D-Butt.
Packers at home, you got the elements. Everything's on the line for the Vikings too, but they are obviously locked up this division. We'll be in the offs. We'll be hosting the playoff game. Still fighting for the 1 seed, but their postseason lives on the line out there in Green Bay. I'm leaning heavily towards Green Bay right now.
Oh, heavily
towards Green Bay. I ain't gonna make a solid pick right now. Tap in on Saturday afternoon to get our picks. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to do that Friday. But tap in this weekend for the picks. I'm leaning heavily right now towards Green Bay. They kind of finding ways to win right now. They needed we've been talking about it all year. I know I've been talking about it all year with these quarterbacks on the NFC side. Like, which one of them do you really trust this time of year and then going into the postseason? Now, A-Rod hasn't been a very trustworthy quarterback in the postseason either up to this point. But last time they did win a bowl, he went in as a 6th seed, I believe. So the Packers, man, have been getting healthy. Dobbs is back. Will Christian Watson be back out there? He left last game early with type of, I think, a core or oblique or some type of injury. Not sure if he'll be back out there, but that'll be huge if he is. I tell you this, if Christian Watson is healthy, if he's full go, I'm going with the Packers.
Woo! Hey, look.
You
see how the tables turn within a year of football. At the beginning of the year, man, the media was killing the young boy.
Yep, that's how it was
killing them. They was killing them. Now, the football guy, my guy, D-Butt, he's basing his picks off if the young boys is available.
Game breaker.
That shit is crazy. What can happen in a year?
Damn right. You got to bet. Shit, you remember Jamar Chase? They were saying he couldn't catch the ball anymore coming out of college with, he had set out, missed the season. did his thing. But Christian Watson, man, we obviously sat down with him, talked with him. And that's why you got to be mentally tough in this game, man. You got to block out that outside noise, the people that believe in your circle, your friends, your family, your agent, your teammates, your quarterback, all that shit. You start making plays, and trust me, them people will be right on that bandwagon. Then as soon as you drop a game winner or something, or you're dealing with an injury and you out a little longer than the fan base wants you to, then they'll be right back. So block that shit out, man. But yeah, I'm basing my pick on Christian Watson.
Okay. This gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be
Where
a
you
tough
going
one.
with this one? Where you at with this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know yet. My pick will come Saturday as well. The Vikings, 12-3. They've been finding ways to win, but to your point, man, Packers at home. They're playing better. So I gotta think on this a couple more days.
All right.
So another game. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Ravens, 10-5. Ravens 10-5, 2.5-point favorite coming in this one.
What's up with Lamar?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with Lamar. Mike Tomlin, man, looking to keep his record above 500. Never having a season below 500 as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach.
Crazy.
This is gonna be one of them games, as it always is between these two teams. I might go Steelers here, man.
Yeah,
I might.
They found a way to win last week. Made big plays on the ball, interceptions. Minka, Sutton, Pickens had a touchdown late. I like this Ravens defense, man. Ravens defense, and along the lines of those Christian Watson, Ravens got a new defense coordinator, Mike McDaniel, I believe, or McDonald. And they started off shitty. I thought doing too much, trying to be too cute, and they've really hit their stride, as the season has progressed. I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. I'm going to Ravens on this one. I'm gonna let you know right now. Ravens. John Harbaugh tight-lipped about Lamar Jackson's injury. So he said he's trying to return this season, but that doesn't sound.
They trying to throw you off with that one. Return this season. We know damn well he gonna return this season, but
yeah.
All right, D-Buck going with Baltimore. I might lean towards the Steelers, but we'll see.
Yeah, Baltimore.
This is gonna be a good one here.
Ooh.
Two young quarterbacks that's at the top of their game right now.
Yeah.
Got Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. They coming in at 1.5-point favorite at the Cincinnati Bengals, 11-4, led by Joe Cool. I'm going with the Bengals. You already knew that. I'm going with the Bengals, man. I'm going with Joe Cool, man. But again, man, this is going to be a great matchup, man. Two young, good quarterbacks, man. Two good teams. Two good teams. Definitely both these teams are going to be in the playoffs. I'm going with Joe Cool and the Bengals playing at home.
What did I read? So 23 wins between these two teams on this Monday Night Football game. And I believe I read somewhere that since started playing Monday Night Football, these are the most wins between two teams at this point in the season, or any point in the season, obviously. But so this should be a good game. Like you said, two great young quarterbacks, I believe, on a great trajectory. Two very good defenses and defensive play callers, too. Luana Room over there in Cincinnati, Leslie Frazier in Buffalo. So definitely going to be tapped into this one. I can't wait to put this same game parlay together with these offenses, these weapons out there. This is gonna be a good ass game, man.
Yeah, huge loss though. Huge loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. Lyle Collins, man, torn ACL. Yeah, so that's definitely gonna be a big concern for the Cincinnati Bengals, keeping replacing him and keeping Joe Burrow upright. But
is it?
I'm still rocking with my guy.
Yeah. If it's one quarterback in the league, I'm not concerned with an offensive line.
What you say?
If it's one quarterback in the league, I'm not concerned with their play falling off because of the offensive line. It's this. Hey, I'll give this motherfucker right here over anybody else because what we saw him doing in them playoffs last year to win that, I still vividly remember beating the Titans and getting the shit beat out of them. I think 9 sacks or something like that you gave up playoff and to still win, to still play the way he plays, still go through progressions, be accurate. Joe Burrow, man, hey, he's been everything you cracked him up to be, AB.
Hey, look at it,
Hey,
man.
but hey, another motherfucker over there in the AFC, he done cracked his playoff.
Oh, you talking about Patrick Mahomes?
He done popped that playoff cherry. Justin Herbert, baby. Yeah. I hope these two play in the playoffs.
No, you don't.
I hope these two play in the playoffs.
No, you don't. You don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
You don't mean that. You don't mean that. Hey, man, why we talking about all these playoff implications right now, man? We're going to talk about, what that playoff picture look like right now. I'm going to start off with the AFC. We just talked about, the Buffalo Bills. They sitting at the number 1 seed, 12-3. Got Kansas City right there, sitting at 12-3. Cincinnati 11-4. The Jacksonville Jaguars 7-8. Surprisingly, ain't that a bad? Baltimore at 10-5. The Los Angeles Chargers 9-6. Miami Dolphins 8-7. They got the New England Patriots right there behind them. They played this week 7-8, and then you still got the New York Jets, the Tennessee Titans, and the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-4. That's still in the hunt.
Yeah, all in the hunt, man. And on the NFC side, who's been in the driver's seat all year long? Philadelphia Eagles at 13-2. At the Minnesota Vikings 12-3. San Francisco 49ers 11-4, 5-0 in the division. 9-2 in the conference. Interesting. Tampa Bay 7-8. Dallas at the 5 seed right now, 11-4. Giants 8-6. Commanders 7-1. I'm sorry, Giants 8-6-1. Then the Seahawks 7-8. Lions 7-8. Packers 7-8. Panthers and the Saints sitting at 6-9, still not eliminated, still in play with that NFC South. So as always, I think we got a really good playoff last year. Last year was a really good playoff slate. A lot of underdogs went in covering. So should be a good one this year too.
Nah, I think so. Man. Before we get to this Thursday night football preview, man, JJ Watt announces his retirement. After this season, my man is hanging it up. I want to say 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Short list. I think Aaron Donald.
Yep. And LT.
Yep. So short list. I would say first time, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
First ballot Hall of Famer. I know I've been you have too, on the other sideline. Him when he was in Houston.
Breaking the AFC South, yep.
In the AFC South, man, and used to give people problems being able to move all along that defensive line, creating some matchup nightmares. So obviously we got 2 games left for the Arizona Cardinals, but hell of a career. And then even the stuff that he did off the field, in the community. Doing, Houston when they had the floods and just stepping up and doing some big things. So shout out to JJ Watt, man. Hell of a career. Obviously, hampered by some injuries there, but hell of a career. First ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Played the game different. Shit talked about all along the defensive side. He was getting 20 sacks, 20 pass deflections, and then even playing some offense as well. And like you said, man, great, first ballot Hall of Famer on the field. But that Hurricane Harvey, when that hit, raising I think in excess of $40 million for the city. That was actually the year that I was nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Damn, everybody, no chance.
Everybody knew who was getting it that year, deservingly so. So shout out to 99, man. Great career. And hang it up. You think we see him back though? I feel like it's a little easier to hang it up when you're out there in Arizona with all the shit going on out there. When the teams come calling week 10, 11.
I don't know, man. For him to announce this, now if he would have announced that, after the season, I don't know. I don't know, but for him to announce it right now with 2 games left, saying like, "Hey, look, I'm done,"
Mm-hmm.
it might just be like one of them things, like, man, my body. But it could be Arizona. It could be that the team not playing well. Expectations may be a little high for him going out there. So I don't know, but I think he's done.
Too.
I think
Hey,
he's
see,
done.
you leave that building, you get home to whatever pad you got out there, and it's just you looking at a golf course in your
Man,
backyard.
what? Yeah. Hey, question by Todd James though. Do y'all think JJ will remain the greatest Watt brother even after all his brothers eventually retire?
I mean, TJ Watt, if he can stay healthy, he can definitely push him. In my opinion, with what he's been able to do. But we just said first ballot Hall of Famer, so that
Three-time defensive player of the year.
3-time defensive player of the year. When he was healthy, obviously injuries slowed him down, but when he was healthy, probably the most dominant force that I watched firsthand on the field. You had Revis when Revis Island those times, but obviously you can just not throw at Revis. You can't not run or not throw the ball with 99 rushing. So that'd be a tough feat. But TJ, he can push for it. So I don't
Facts.
know. That's a great question. But TJ definitely. What he got another 6, 7, probably 8 more. Who knows how many years he stay in
Yeah.
shape, he stay healthy. He can definitely push him for that title. But yeah, that's a first ballot guy. That's crazy, man. Bosa, Watts,
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
white boys on, man.
Thursday.
It's different.
Thursday night football tonight. Tonight, man. We got
Damn, who else?
You got the Dallas Cowboys at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans on a damn 5-game losing streak. Last 5 games.
Yeah.
Cowboys 4-1 last 5 games. And the Tennessee Titans are planning to sit a lot of their starters.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry right now is
Doubtful.
questionable, is doubtful. Obviously Tannehill, he's down for the season. I think it was Danico Autry is questionable. So they have a lot of names that are questionable tonight. Obviously, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys on this pick, but what you think the reasoning for this one, D-Buck?
Reason for what? The sitting all the guys?
Yeah.
Oh, because this game basically has no impact
No.
on the outcome of the AFC South. So week 18 against the Jacksonville Jaguars for the
That's
Tennessee
it.
Titans, that's the AFC South championship game right there. So you're resting your guys. And at this point in the season, it's 100% injury rate, right? So AB, DB, whoever out there, you've been dealing with a shoulder, you've been dealing with an ankle, a hammy, whatever it is, and you've been getting through practicing and playing, and now you actually have a rare opportunity where you can rest some of these, veteran players, and then have them, as fresh as possible for this big game going into the playoffs. So definitely get it from Mike Vrabel's standpoint. 12.5-point line in the Cowboys' favor. Cowboys. What do they have to play for? I'm not sure exactly what's on the line for them, but
Man,
I know they clinch.
Keep it going.
Yeah, I guess keep it going, like you said, keep it going, keep the momentum going, rolling into the playoffs. But 12.5-point line. I'm surprised by the amount of money. Though we can see now where the money's allocated on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Percentage of money on the spread: 60%, 67% of the money is on Dallas against the spread. And then the percentage of bets against the spread, you got 52% of the bets actually on the spread. So people betting a lot of money on Dallas, but only 6-7%. Where am I going with this? Give me the Cowboys to cover. I like Cowboys to cover. You got Ty in the fold now. You got both of those backs, Pollard, Zeke, obviously CD and those guys. Schultz. Give me the Cowboys winning and the Cowboys covering 12.5 on Thursday Night Football. Where you
Thursday night
going,
football. You gonna do a
AB?
same game parlay? I know you are.
Nah. The boys got a boost. They got a boost. This one of these games I'm gonna stay away from because, and I would say, I wouldn't jump on this game honestly because you don't know. Like it could be halftime,
It
Cowboys
could
could
be
be up
crazy.
28
Yeah.
and they just shut their guys down, and then you be pissed off waiting for a motherfucker to run for 7 more yards. So,
Smart guy.
yeah.
Y'all listen to the guy D Butt. Y'all
Listen,
listen
I ain't
to
gonna.
him.
We rock with FanDuel Sports, but we ain't got no crash dummies out here. All right, when I bet, I'm betting to win. I ain't just betting to get the sports book some more money. So I would stay away from this one and just enjoy the Amazon Prime, the game. But yeah, I'll stay away from this one betting wise. But if I had to bet, if you are betting, I would go with the Cowboys to win, Cowboys to cover. Where you going with AB?
Hey man, I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys winning. Um, but to your point, I'm gonna go Cowboys cover too. Cowboys win,
Talk
Cowboys
yourself
cover.
into no dumb shit, AB.
Cowboys win, Cowboys cover. So hey, y'all tap into Amazon
Yeah.
tonight, man. Thursday night football, Cowboys at the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, sir.
Man, some other news. Hall of Famer Ed Reed
Ooh,
just
yeah.
announced to be the head coach at Bethune-Cookman College, HBCU, in the SWAC. Gone a lot of news. Obviously, Ed Reed, man, Hall of Famer. But now, obviously, in the SWAC, Coach Prime leaving
Yeah.
Jackson State University, taking the head coaching job at Colorado. So it was a lot of talk about that. So now, Ed Reed taking his head coaching job. What's your thoughts on that?
I like it. I think he's been a senior consultant or something like that for UM for the
Yep.
last couple of years. I know he was an assistant DB coach, I believe, for the Jets, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
Bills.
The Bills, okay, the
Yep.
Bills. Was that with Rex or somebody else?
I think it was. I'm not sure, but it was
Okay,
the
I'm not
Bills. It
sure
was
either,
the
but I know
Bills.
he has some experience there on that level. I like it, man. I like it. I think we've all seen Ed Reed from a distance, at least myself, be a great leader. Chuck Pagano was with Chuck for 6 years in Indy. And actually, he's here today. We were talking about it early before I came on air. He was excited about it. He said he loves it for him. He loves the challenge for him. I like this, man. I like this for Ed Reed. I like this for Bethune. My younger brother Michael, actually played football at Bethune
Okay,
a
I didn't
few
know
years
that.
back. Yeah, a few years back. So I got a cousin as well, close cousin of mine, graduated from Bethune as well. So definitely going to try to show face at Daytona at some point. But shout out to Ed Reed, man. The GOAT in my opinion, the GOAT at the safety position. And now he's, getting into the coaching world at the HBCU level at that. So I love it, man.
Nah, man, I'm right there with you, man. I think it's a good look for Avery, obviously, for Bethune Cookman, for again HBCU, for him to be able to go there and take his knowledge of the game,
Yeah.
and help the young men succeed in that aspect of their life, man. So again, I'm looking forward to see it, the impact that he'll be able to have.
Mm-hmm.
So man, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Um, what else we got?
Speaking of college football,
College,
that
yeah, December 31st.
yes, sir. This weekend, New Year's Eve, be out there with my guys out there in the Atlanta. We got the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl playoff semifinals. The number one seeded Georgia Bulldogs and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Man, should be a good game at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Gonna be Pat, myself, Ty, AJ, and Connor, and we actually gonna be moving around like on the field, mic'd up. It's gonna be an alternate, telecast. We've done some watch alongs, but this guy gonna be, literally boots on the ground,
That's dope.
grabbing
That's
people
dope.
different. Yeah, it's gonna be different. Honestly, full transparency, I don't have a clue what to fucking expect. Because the thing about Pat, yeah, Pat's done this before. I think he did it with RG3 and a couple other guys for a national championship some years ago. You asked Pat, like, all right, so what I need to do? Fuck, we'll figure it out. You know, we gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have fun with it. Obviously, we're gonna be talking ball. I've been studying these guys because I be fully tapped in the NFL shit. But I've been studying these college guys. And it should be dope. And then we're
Yeah.
gonna follow it up with the national championship game out in LA at SoFi too. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but man-to-man exclusive.
Hey, there you go. There you
know
go.
what I mean? Man-to-man exclusive. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be an amazing opportunity, and also going to be on. This may be another man-to-man exclusive. I'm not sure, but also gonna be on College Game Day. So I'm gonna be at the desk for a little bit. On College Game Day, so I'm gonna shout out man-to-man up there, man. So hey. We out here, man. We doing things. That's gonna be a hell of a way to close out this
year,
man. Yeah, this year, 2022 is coming to a close. We're a couple days out. Always a great time for reflection, refocusing,
facts,
and attacking the next year. Full steam ahead, man. It's never too early to start. We can start right now. We can start today. But appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate AB. Appreciate Tone. Everybody behind the scenes that make this shit go. Appreciate the FanDuel Sportsbook as well. We gotta.
Hey, but before we leave though, before we get out of here, we gotta touch on Luka real quick. We gotta touch on Luka, man. What Luka did the other night,
man.
60 points, 21 boards, and 10 assists.
I can't even say that. That's video game numbers. I can't even do that in a video game.
Man, but watching this game though, like how he sent the game into overtime. Man, like, hey, shout out to Luka.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, man.
Knicks up like 9 with like 30-something seconds there.
Yeah, and they missed. He got fouled. He was at the free throw line. He made the first one. He missed the second one. They got the tip in it. The rebound. He was able to grab it, tip it back in, send the game to overtime. Luka.
Nothing shocks me about this game.
And that drew rim. It still was Luka got it back.
Me of a young AB on the court. Just
all right, cut the string, Tone.
The way he played the game.
Coughing this shit, you knew you full of shit.
Luka reminds me of myself, man. The way he just. Just patient with it, the body control, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Luka, man.
Hey, once again, what these international motherfuckers on, man? But Luka, he reminds you, AB. Luka reminds me of somebody too.
Hey.
James Harden. Luka reminds me of James Harden. And James Harden got a lot of hate for what the style of play he had a few years ago, and actually had it's an unbelievable performance. 60, 21, and 10. James Harden had the first 60-point triple-double. And he did his in regulation, too. But once again, James Harden wasn't getting that type of love. Just an observation. But Luka's unbelievable, though.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Top. What would you rank Luka right now in the league?
Right now?
Right now. Give me your top 3 guys. Top 3, 5 guys.
Top 3 to 5 guys. I'm gonna put Giannis there. I'm gonna put Joel Embiid in there. I'm gonna put Luka there. I'm gonna put the young boy Tatum in there. And I'm still gonna have KD in my top 5.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'll probably go KD
I'm gonna take Tatum out. I'm gonna take Tatum out and put Curry in there.
Oh, Tatum having an MVP year right now. I go KD. I go KD, Giannis, Luka, Steph. This is no order. KD, Giannis, Luka, Steph. Damn, you got Embiid, you got Joker.
Yeah, I mean you can.
It's a talented league right now, man.
It is.
Me and Embiid at 5. Shit. I give you a whole another 5 tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like that.
It's special right now, man.
Hey, NFL Hall of Famer, man. He already got a gold jacket. CEO, man, he's 49, man. He's trying to get to the Cowboys, man. He's trying to get the show, man. Get the popcorn ready, man. Hey, he's trying to get there, man. Shout out T.O., man. He's 49. He got a little bit left.
Bet on yourself.
Hey, at all times, man, early and often, before we get out of here, man, we got this $1,000 no sweat first bet, man. You know, y'all tap into it. Make sure you use the promo code M2M Live.
Yes, sir.
You know, $1,000 back in free bets if you sign up again with the code. You see my man D Butt hit the same game parlay, so definitely keep your eyes locked in on what D Butt has on the same game parlay to go out here and get this good money, man. Again, man, shout out to FanDuel Sports.
Throw that disclaimer up, Tone.
Shout out to FanDuel Sportsbook, man, holding it down in here. You got a disclaimer. You definitely can read it. Obviously, when we hit the outro, we going to slide it by for y'all real quick. But as always, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in on this good Thursday show, the Man to Man podcast. I'm AB.
Yes,
got my
sir.
guy D Butt.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all live Monday with another It Is What It Is. And then Saturday, definitely going to have those picks in. Just got to figure out when we're going to get them in.
Yes, sir. Use that cheat sheet, baby.
Yes, sir.
We go.
Plus and select states first online real money wager only. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bet as it expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. That's in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 NAZ. 1-888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. And then 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369 in New York. Tennessee, red line. All right, 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia.
Yeah. My man Luca, what he
60 points, 20 boards. It never happened, baby. How's it feel right now?
I'm tired as hell.
You can rest later. You're young.
I need a recovery beer.
Man, what kind of beer you going to, man? That Green Monster, that Heineken, that Stella. Oh, yeah, he probably going to an IPA. IPA strong as hell. Again, man, y'all be good. Y'all tap into a Saturday. Monday, we back live. It is what it is. Peace.